Hey, welcome. Today, we are cracking the code on something really exciting, how you can launch a real, honest-to-goodness food business like this month for under $1,000. Seriously, let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? You bake something incredible, or you whip up the perfect spice blend, and that little voice in the back of your head whispers, man, I could totally sell this. Well, guess what? You're in exactly the right place, because that dream is so much closer than you think. And this number right here, this is what it all comes down to, $1,000. That's pretty much it. For about $1,000 and a little bit of smart planning, you can actually get started. And a quick shout out to our sponsor, Next Insurance, for helping us bring you this explainer. They make protecting new businesses just like yours super, super simple. So let's kick things off with our first section, the $1,000 food dream. We're going to break down exactly why this isn't just some fantasy, but a totally doable plan. Okay, first things first, let's just bust the biggest myth right now. You do not need a food truck or a massive loan to get started. Honestly, the biggest barrier for most people is just the one we build up in our own heads. What you really need is one great, simple idea and a smart, lean plan to make it happen. And that's exactly what we're building today. So, if a lean plan is the secret sauce, what does that actually look like? Well, it's time to get inspired. Let's look at a few solid examples of businesses you could start, like right now on a super small budget. And just look at the variety here. You could launch a home bakery, focusing on cookies and brownies for around $500 to $700, which is perfect for your local farmer's market. Or hey, maybe you're more of a savory person. Custom spice blends are awesome for online sales because they have a long shelf life, which means way less waste. And if you want a business with insane profit margins, gourmet popcorn has one of the lowest startup costs out there, and it's always a huge hit at live events. See? 3 totally different paths, and all of them come in way under our $1,000 goal. Okay, so you've got the idea simmering. Now it's time for the action plan. This next part is the SmartStart blueprint, where we get into the nitty-gritty of your budget and, this is important, how to protect your new hustle from day one. So, where does that $1,000 actually go? Well, the biggest chunks are going to be your first big ingredient buy and your packaging. But look at these numbers. They're totally manageable. You don't need to buy a year's worth of flour all at once. Just start with a small ingredient buy for your first batch, maybe in that $150 to $400 range, and some simple packaging. The whole key is to start small and then reinvest your profits right back into the business. Budget check. But hold on, before you sell a single cookie, we have to talk about protecting all your hard work. And trust me, this isn't the boring part, this is the smart part. This is the step that lets you grow with real confidence. And this isn't just a nice-to-have thing. I mean, this quote really says it all. The second you try to sell at a market or even to a local shop, they are going to ask for proof of insurance. It's a non-negotiable. This is where a service like our sponsor, Next Insurance, becomes your best friend. They specialize in making this whole process fast and painless for food entrepreneurs, so you can get that certificate in hand and actually start selling. So what kind of insurance are we even talking about? Well, first up is general liability. The easiest way to think about it is this. Somebody trips over a cord at your farmer's market booth and gets hurt. That's what this covers, that kind of third-party injury or any property damage. It's your basic foundational protection. Now, next up, and for a food business, this is the big one, is product liability. This is what specifically covers you if, heaven forbid, someone claims your food made them sick or caused an allergic reaction. For any business selling something people eat, this is an absolute must-have. And usually, these two types of coverage are bundled together. And if you're thinking this sounds like some complicated, week-long ordeal, it's not. It's actually incredibly simple these days. With a provider like Next, you can literally just go online, get a quote that's tailored to your exact business, whether it's a home bakery or a popcorn stand, choose your coverage, and boom, immediately download your certificate of insurance, or COI. That's the piece of paper that markets are going to ask for. It's as simple as that. All right, you are budgeted, you are protected. Let's move into our final section, launching with confidence. This is all about the small, professional habits that end up making a huge, huge difference. So these next few tips, here's the cool part. These are things that insurance companies love to see because they show you're lowering your risk. But you know who else loves them? Your customers. It tells them you're a serious, professional business that they can trust. It's a total win-win. Okay, let's put these habits into action. Picture your market stall for a second. You've got clear allergen labels with the allergens in bold type. You're using batch codes on your packaging so you can track everything. When you offer samples, you're always using tongs, no hands. And for the setup itself, a simple hand wash station, a temp that's properly weighted down, and cords that are taped down safely. These are all non-negotiable. These are the little details that scream quality and safety. So let's just boil it all down. What do you really need to get started? You need a simple menu. You need to price your stuff so you actually make a profit, and you need business protection. That's it. What you don't need is a huge loan, a super complicated, overwhelming launch, or to take silly risks that could sink you before you even get going. At the end of the day, you have the blueprint right here. So the real question is the one on your screen. What is that one idea, the cookies, the spice blend, the gourmet popcorn, that you are ready to start this month? You can absolutely do this. And a final thank you to our sponsor, Next Insurance. When you're ready to make it official and get that peace of mind, check them out to get a quote that fits your food business perfectly. Now go make something delicious.